Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Zoe. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. And if you're new, welcome. I love to say thank you so much for coming. So in today's video, I think this is going to be an interesting video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the reality of studying in Europe versus what people think it is. Some people ask me how it's like studying in Ukraine, how people are here, how the economy is, blah blah. So it's just like, you know what, let me just make this video, and I hope you guys enjoy watching this, and it's something that you learn from if you want to know more about the country that I'm studying in. And generally, even if you're in Botswana, you're studying in Botswana, I hope this video makes you appreciate being home. All right, so without wasting any more time, let's get into the video. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is the economy of this country. I would say personally, definitely the economy is kind of like better. Like, I mean, in terms of like the stability of electricity, how the internet is affordable, the price of food, of clothes and everything. I think genuinely it is cheaper than being in Botswana, than being in Africa or South Africa or Zimbabwe, because those are the countries that I know, whose economies I know well. So it is definitely better than being in those countries. And food is cheaper here, yeah, but to be very honest, food is better at home. Even though it's more expensive, it's better because, you know, food from home is not really genetically modified or processed as much as it is here. Like, it's so bad. The food here is really bad. I personally do not like it, and especially because of how it feels rushed. I don't know how I can explain it to you, but food from home is definitely better than the food here, and the economy in general here is better than home. I hope that makes sense. And then the next thing I'm going to talk about is the weather. The weather here, people always get confused about this every time I'm talking about it, my statuses and everything. The weather here is like 85% winter compared to home, which is like summer most of the time. Or if it's not summer, it's warm, it's spring, it's, you know, those kind of vibes. But here it's cold, it's rainy, it's snowing most of the time, and then summer is literally like 3 to 4 months, and then after that again you go back into winter. And winter, the days are so short, like it gets dark at like 3 p.m. and it's just ghetto. It gets dark at 3 p.m. and then more sunrise is at like 7 a.m. instead of like 5 a.m. compared to back home and everything. So the weather really is bad. And now I tend to understand why in summer everyone just wants to travel out, and you know, because really genuinely, like, if you're in a depressive cold weather for like 8 months, trust me, you're gonna lose it in summer. That's why summer is a big deal to these countries in the northern hemisphere, because they're in winter like 85% of the time. So in terms of weather and everything, definitely being home is so much better. I personally prefer the weather back home, and I think that's why we're happier in general. You know, the country I live in, Ukraine, was recently voted the top 10 most depressed country. It was in the top 10 most depressed countries in the world. And I'm like, obviously because of the weather, you know what I mean? It's really depressing and everything compared to the weather back home. And I think that's why people back home are happier. Good at Botswana are so much happier in general. Like, Botswana will see you on the road and they greet you, how are you doing, blah blah blah. Here no one is smiling with you, no one is laughing with you. Like, if you're laughing, people even commend you, like, why are you so happy? Like, it's that weird. Yeah. And then the education system, what I'm studying is medicine, and it's in Hoko National Medical University. It's a 6-year course. I think it's the same as back home, except I don't know if medicine is 7 years back home, but it's the same really. There's not much of a difference, except here there's not much practical practice because of the language barrier. I'll talk about that next. We can't speak their language and they can't speak English, so we can't practice. But back home, there's the amazing advantage of the fact that, first of all, doctors are in demand as compared to here. Doctors are not even paid much because there's so many of them. Back home, doctors are in demand, so they're paid a lot of money, and it's so much easier to practice because people back home, at least in school by grade 7, Yana, you can speak a bit of English. People here cannot. So basically, if you're coming to study courses that need like practical practice, like medicine, all of that stuff, I would suggest that you do that back home. Then the next thing I was going to talk about is English. Like, the language here, they don't speak English as compared to the countries back home where we are forced, not forced per se, but it's like kind of mandatory that we learn how to speak English from a like young primary-ish age, and here they don't do that. So unlike back home where it's necessary for you to learn English, here that's not the case. Like people comfortably are like in high school, in university, and they can't speak English. Back home, I know that if you're like that, like it's kind of like, did this person even go to school? You know, that kind of energy, and it's not nice because at the end of the day, they can't speak English and they expect us to speak English. I don't know, I'm not hating or anything, but I don't think that's fair. And the last thing I'm going to talk about is the people. Like generally the people are not so receptive, they're not so welcoming, to be very honest, and I guess that's just how they are, that's just their personality, that's just how they behave in general compared to people back home. Like I already said, people in Africa, I don't know about West Africa, but Southern Africa, people are very nice, like they're very kind and they're very loving. Like people easily want to help you if you have questions or if you need something, or they see that you're new and everything, they'll really just want to help you. But here it's not like that. Like people are so mean and they're not so helpful and they're not so kind, to be very honest. So I don't know, I personally really prefer being in Africa, and I love it so much, and I really wish I had chosen to study there. But I do appreciate the experience and the fun of being here and everything. But to be honest, I would really would have preferred being home. And with that being said, I hope I covered most of the questions that I usually get about studying in Ukraine. And if you do have any more questions, I'll leave my social media links in the description. You can always text me on Instagram and ask me whatever questions you have. And if you did learn from this video, whether you're planning to come study in Europe, and when I say Europe, I'm talking about Russia, Ukraine, Poland, France, they're pretty much the same thing. Yeah, honestly, so it's not much of a difference if you're considering those countries. Oh, and the last thing, they are racist. I know people think that these countries are no longer racist, but they are. Some of them are. Like, I think every foreign student here probably have like 1 or 2 stories of having racist encountering racist people. So they are, if you're wondering, don't think they are not. They are not as smiley as the white people that you see back home and stuff. They're not like that. They are very much. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy watching this video, and if you have more questions, like I said, you can either leave them in the comments or text me on my social media. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in my next. Bye.